Yo, what's up guys? This is another video. This time I'm going to be talking about Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. In this fight, we did get to see a little bit more from Jake Paul, a little bit more of improvements, but he kind of did look the same. We saw the same thing from Nate Diaz. He's always tough, so he's always going to get back up. A lot of the punches didn't seem to hurt him. He got somewhat wobbled in the first round, but started winning, like a couple of rounds after that. Uh, a lot of things that I'm seeing from Jake Paul, he's able to, work his combinations well. Using the uppercuts on Nate Diaz, made him stay off him a little bit, so that was nice. But the same thing, Jake Paul just doesn't seem to handle pressure well. He seemed to always be angsty when Nate would bum rush him all the time with his guard up. So that's something I really like if I were Jake would start to work on more to combat people if he ever wants to, fight Tommy again or fight KSI. That's the thing. That's why after watching that fight, I'm really thinking that KSI, the bridge between KSI and Jake Paul, is a bit smaller than we all thought. You know, from that performance, he looks somewhat similar. And Nate was pretty much standing still, so he could throw almost anything and not really be punished that much. No, it's not. Nate's not named, you Nate's name is not notorious with punching power. It's more with, toughness and, the ability to, never get tired. So I don't know how Jake would react to somebody like KSI who also has that similar style. Being able to pressure well, but also has that speed and that power. I don't know how he would handle that. And with the KSI versus Tommy fight coming up, I want to see how well KSI can show his actual power. Because the last fight we saw was the Joe Fournier fight, and there was a bunch of controversy with that fight. So I'd like to see a lot more from KSI. Hopefully, he wins. But with this fight, KSI versus Tommy, it's really gonna show the bridge gap. Cause from this fight, I really couldn't take much. Jake didn't look that impressive, but the Tommy fight was like 5 months. It's 5 months after the Tommy fight, so I don't exactly know what he was doing. There was been issues with his team, so got rid of BJ Flores, but apparently he had nothing to do with the controversy, but he just left. But yeah, I'm excited to see this KSI versus Tommy fight. We gonna see all different types of fighters on that fight, but I really want to hone on in Jake Paul and how he handles combat scenarios where pressure is involved, and if that might lead to his downfall if he were to fight Tommy again, or maybe even fight KSI if he improved more. Because we could see from this Tommy fight, it's always going to be looking like Tommy's going to win. But if KSI is able to show that he could put down Tommy very easily, then that KSI versus Jake fight might not happen at all. Because he did say that, KSI did say that he would retire after that fight. So hopefully he still fights Jake, even if he does beat Tommy. But the likely scenario is that I feel like Tommy would win on points. But I'm leaning, after seeing that performance, I'm leaning very well to KSI being able to knock him out in the earlier rounds. Only in the earlier rounds. And that was the thing. Like, if we see the fight and he can't knock him out with his punches, we're probably going to see a win by Tommy. That's what happened with Jake. Jake got dominated the whole fight by a boxer. So that's my analysis, my first takes right after the fight. And it was a decent fight, a bit slow at times, Nate showing his, showmanship, making the crowd go wild, doing little tricks on Jake. But, it was a pretty good fight, The Amanda Cerny fight was good also. That fight was, electric almost. And I like to see more female fighters like that, be put on cards like that. So that's why I do respect Jake with that. Him, you know, bring people like Amanda, you know, part of women's boxing, to really bring them to the light more, you know. So, yeah, that's my analysis on Tommy and KSI, and then Jake and Nate. Alright, see ya.